Hey, what's happening, gamers? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. This is episode 11, Turnabout, Ablaze finale, I think. And then we're aiming to do this series like on the weekend because we have a we have a very stuffed plate coming up with lots of releases over the next 8 weeks. I think it is 9 weeks. We're doing 3 new games next week, 2 new games like the first and second week of October, and it's just going to keep going from there. Everything from Steam, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So that's what we like. We like being busy, and we also like stuff. So Ace Attorney will be moved to the weekends because that's probably the only time we'll be able to do it going forward, because new releases always take priority, and this game is now 2 months old. So I think, pretty much. So... or a month old. It's a month old, at least. Something like that.
1 month old.
Pretty much. And Zelda scratched me before the stream. So
Told a lie.
she did. So we're going to dive back into this and see what happens with this case. And then there's a whole other Ace Attorney Investigations game, which...
Zelda, please stop ruining all of the food.
I got Amber's mad because Zelda ruined a muffin. She took a bite of a muffin. A cat bite, which is more like nibbling. Oh, Zelda! Okay, she's like, whatever. I don't care. So, we're gonna go accuse white-haired girl of being the murderer now. And see where that goes. March 14th, 11:33 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis Lobby. And I have a cold again, so... Miles might sound a little... under the weather. Oh no, the Emperor fakes.
Also, why does this guy's sunglasses look like it's 2 eye patches crisscrossed?
Maybe they are 2 eye patches that are crisscrossed. I don't know.
It's weird.
Or doesn't he have a scratch, like a cross on his head? Or no?
I mean, it looks like 2 eye patches are crossed over each other.
I heard a buzzing that was driving me crazy. Okay, so here we go. Agent Lang, I presume. Lang Z says little cubs never do... Lang Z says, little cubs never do they know the real fury of elder wolves. What? These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. I agree.
I think he's just making stuff up on the fly.
I think he is. At this point, he's just kind of making stuff up.
Like,
he's like,
Lang Z says an apple is delicious if you bite into it. It's like, what?
What?
Just making stuff up now. Whoops.
Him and his Chinese proverbs. That's right, Miss Deanna. Alright, these quotes are getting harder. And what does that mean exactly? It means they'll never really know how angry I can get. Those are weird sunglasses. Mr. Prosecutor, the counterfeit bills made with the ink, they were all of Zhang Fei denominations. I've never heard of that term used to describe bills before. Denominations I've heard for different sects of Christianity, but never used in the term to talk about counterfeit bills before. But okay.
I think they are like 5s, 10s, 15, or 5s, 10s, 100s. I think these are all denominations of bills.
Well, you worked at a bank. Did you ever hear that term?
I believe I did.
Okay. Yes, so I've heard, Miss Van Karma. Yes, I've heard... oh, so, yes, I've heard from Miss Van Karma. Miss Van Karma.
There. American paper currency comes in 7 denominations. 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s.
Interesting.
So each different type of bill is a different denominational bill.
I've never heard of that term to describe money. I've heard that term growing up, but for other reasons. Francisca.
But we don't know where the play money has gone, Miles Edgeworth.
They must not have figured... Oh, wow. I don't even know what happened there. Bleh. I just woke up, so Miles is gonna sound weird. Okay. They must not have figured out it was all burned yet. They must not have figured out it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhang Fei says in financial chaos as we speak, because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money, the citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhang Fei, and I pursued the smuggling ring all over here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, Don't start, it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight.
It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Oh, you fool! Curse your empty brain.
Ha! You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Shih, let's go. Time to return to our den.
Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well, Miles.
Agent Lang, a moment, please.
You Wolfman and Secretary Lady, hold it! Objection, pal!
Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already?
Yup, and a note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. Damask's note, quota updated in the organizer.
Mr. Prosecutor, how long do you intend to hold us up for?
Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Shih, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind.
Yes?
How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Cochin was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us.
What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, what are you doing asking her about something she didn't see?
Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babel investigation at all, so I suppose I'll need to explain a few things to him first.
Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours.
The only thing going on in my head, dear sister, is the pursuit of the truth.
Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan, Miles. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end.
Is she so seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day?
You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you?
I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see.
I should have known. Then you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end.
It would appear that way.
Well, I'll prove her innocence, so let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
With pleasure.
Wouldn't he be looking for the truth?
For my opening statement, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babel, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed by Kay's testimony.
You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw?
That's right. That person is one of... That person is, that's right, that person is one of the keys to solving this case. The guy with the coat that she saw is Mr. Cochin.
Because he had a coat, Mr. Coatin.
No. Objection time. Gang's all here. How about that? Okay. There's no music right now. That's right. That's the one person that... I messed up again. That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu.
Pretended? And what do you mean by that?
I'll get to that in a few seconds, but first I want to review what Kay's mystery person did. Kay, if you would please explain for us what that person you were chasing did.
Okay, you got it!
Da-da-da.
I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage on the Babylese side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase.
For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now please, tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor.
Can do, Mr. Edgeworth. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babylese embassy.
Yes.
It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Cochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room.
Seems weird that she would say, I gave chase as a young girl.
But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see anything.
She's been hanging out with Miles Edgeworth a lot.
Oh, so she's talking like him.
I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned the light, but then... Who's there? By the time I had turned the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared.
When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang?
What do you mean? Why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness.
Objection!
Sorry, but I know for a fact that person didn't escape through the door.
Oh? And how do you know that with such certainty?
That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through the door, they would have turned right into this person.
Kay, because Kay was coming through the door.
You think it's Kay?
I think it is, but
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
Take that!
This is who the suspicious person would have run into.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are you sure you're not losing it?
I haven't lost anything, and certainly not my mind.
Maybe not, but you definitely have the wrong person.
Oh.
Or maybe you're just terrible with not only logic, but names as well.
Oops, sorry.
Ah,
Guess I'm wrong.
You didn't need to add insult to injury. Think Miles. Recall the circumstances around Kay's near arrest. There was someone right next to Mr. Cochin's office investigating at the time.
Someone right next to
If the Yatagarasu had left through the door, they would have run right into this person. Lang's secretary? Let's try it.
Possible.
Take that!
Your answer is Shina?
Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Cochin's body,
Good job, Luke.
the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Shina, who was in the next room.
Ugh!
Agent Shina, would you mind telling us if you saw the Agent Shina, excuse me, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? Wow, that's a lot of words.
No, I didn't see anyone.
You see? Therefore, the Yatagarasu could not have escaped the...
It just means that the creep slipped out before Shih made it into the hallway.
I doubt that. There was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at the time?
Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream, I ran towards Mr. Cochin's office from the opposite direction of Agent Shih, sir.
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. Okay.
Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened.
Whoopsies.
Sorry, talked weird.
Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken.
I get it. So that's why you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out.
Precisely.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace explanation, right?
No, not quite yet. You jumped the gun.
Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time.
No, it is not. The revolving wall on the Allebahst side is known only to 4 people, and if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end.
What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics?
Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let us continue where we left off.
That smug, haughty attitude of yours, you really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Huh. Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captions some moments of the Yatagarasu's escape?
I'd guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible.
Now I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly.
Ha! Of course I know that. That's common sense. Besides, I never said I thought the photo... Besides, I never thought... There's a said there. Besides, I never said that... Besides, I never said that I thought that photo would be the one of the Yatagarasu's escape route. Where are the commas?
I never said that I thought that. It's like, what? That seems like a very wordy sentence.
I suppose not. All right, then explain yourself.
And then here's my dialogue with Sheena. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after.
You can say whatever you'd like in whatever language you want, but there's only one language I really understand, the language of evidence.
Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo.
Present what? 1840.
Proof that the person Kay saw is not the same person in the photo. What is proof?
Thinks giving himself a bath.
Well, what do we have to present? What are the things we have in the presenting
We have a
thingy?
lot of evidence.
What, do we have any other photos of the Yatagarasu to compare it to?
There.
Okay, what does that one look like? The one... No. Photo taken after the first fire. I don't even see the Yatagarasu in that. Alright, I guess present the other photo, maybe, of the Yatagarasu.
This is another photo of the Yatagarasu?
No, that's the only one we have.
That's the only one we have.
Yeah, I would present that, and then I don't really know if it contradicts it or not. I can't even see that. Wait. I don't know how it would contradict it. It says, photo taken after the first fire. Alright, well, okay, I guess we can try it. I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure, let's go with it. Going once, going twice.
Take that!
Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kei saw.
Okay.
Kei spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. Ugh!
Yeah, way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. That's twice you've bit him in the butt right now.
Not so fast. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you could answer both, can you?
Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet.
Ha! As I thought.
However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer.
You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on. Enlighten me.
Hold it!
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Allebahstain investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Balby side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Shih explained in my stead?
Shih's my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss?
Lang, it's all right. I can take care of him.
Shih?
You've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth.
Alright. If you're okay with it, then you have my support.
Finally, it's down to just Agent Shih and myself. This is where the battle really begins.
Now then, what is it that you'd like to ask?
Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Balby's embassy? Da-da. Shih's movements.
During the first Balby's fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babao.
That's her.
While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. Evil smile. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I said I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good.
Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation?
No, I moved alone.
In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct?
Oh!
Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic.
And it wasn't when Agent Shih tried to arrest Kei under the same rationale? And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner?
No! Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although, I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected.
I'll make no excuses for what I did in that situation. When you should apologize right now for making Kei out to be a killer, pal. I'm sorry, Shih. Apologize.
I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore, right? Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I never doubted you, Kay. Not for 1 second.
And the same goes for me. I believe in Shih.
Then let's put that to the test and see if she really is worthy of your trust.
This promises to be interesting.
All right.
She seems...
She seems sus.
Yeah, sorry. New testimony or whatever.
Yep. I
Or...
know. 25 minutes. She knows. Whoops. How do you movements? All right. And I'm gonna let's go with this. That might get more people here. All right, ready? There we go. Suspicious. Remember, guys and gals, to like and share the video to bring people in. We only have 40 people watching on a Saturday. That's kind of crazy. So, I mean, Ace Attorney would need a lot of love next weekend to get another episode. Because we're almost 30 minutes in and we're still under 200 views. So, it's kind of hard to push views with only like 40 people here. So, if you guys could like the video if you haven't already to bring people in, that'd be fantastic. We usually average about 60 to 70 people per Ace Attorney stream. So, let's go. Sheena's movements.
During the first Babelese fire, I assisted in putting out the fire.
Hold it!
Hold it!
So you helped with the fire extinguishing effort, correct?
I was in charge of the police on the Babelese side, so I helped them with their work.
Police doing the job of firemen. You really know how to work people.
She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage.
I guess so. She's always bringing you a business card or a scroll just at the right time. To prepare everything before I'm ordered to. That is the definition of a secretary.
She kind of seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she?
At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, Detective.
Oh! I think I had a feeling you were gonna say that. Shih's more than just a capable secretary, you know. Shih, tell him the other things you're good at.
Where's this going?
All right. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babao.
Hold it!
Hold it!
That smile is creepy. By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the 3rd floor of the Babel, correct?
Yes, that was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babao. Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after!
Hold it!
There's no proof that that suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face.
By the way, how was your team's investigation?
In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the 3rd floor via the windows. So the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors.
Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the 3rd floor, because he's an idiot.
When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the 3rd floor.
And you did that alone, did you?
Yes?
Convenient.
While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Ah, so you were in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office, correct?
I already told you I was, earlier, as I was examining the neighboring room. I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochin's office.
Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall.
Yes, I did.
But she was totally innocent, pal.
I thought we had already cleared that up.
And I thought I'd already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet.
No! I have to agree, right now is not the time to take issue with that, Detective. Oh, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagarasu, Agent Shih.
The prosecutors of this country are all so strange. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the...
Hold it!
Hold it!
I am pointing now. You were unable to catch even a glimpse despite being in the next room. Is that true?
I really hate to repeat myself.
Huh. I'm sorry for the inconveniencing. Wow. I actually had it right for a second. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you're not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling Shih's testimony a lie? Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Shih right now. Pipe down, or I will get the spray bottle, you weird little cub. So I'd appreciate if you wouldn't interrupt us with
superfluous.
Yeah, I used to know how to say that. So I'd appreciate if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments. Girl.
Aw, I feel kind of bad for him.
I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth.
Lang, I'm all right. As for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me. What? I thought you said...
And why is that?
You just apologized. You said that you're sorry.
To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that that girl's Yatagarasu even existed.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again?
Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu despite being just an average citizen.
Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu.
That's right! Which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu! And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough! I see.
Kay's testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in her testimony.
Oh, then why don't you show her using what we found with the little thief?
I will in due time, actually.
Okay.
The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Shih, then what is it that she's keeping from us right now? Okay.
Alright, well, we pressed everything.
Yep.
Well, I think one of the things she said was she didn't see the Yatagarasu, but randomly she was in the room next door, which is very strange. Also, she mentioned she was following somebody, and then she didn't see them, but randomly she saw Kay instead. It just seems weird. I think the weird thing is that she said she didn't see anyone at all, which is very sus. I think that's the weird, yeah, I think that's the weird statement. I think, and didn't we say, what did Edgeworth said? He said we should use the evidence we found with the little thief? What was the evidence we found? Was that the fact that there was a connecting room? If she was in the other room and it was connected...
The revolving fireplace?
Yeah,
Okay.
that she should have been able to easily peek through there and see the Yatagarasu. There's no way she wouldn't have seen them. I mean, she could have easily seen them through there.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't know.
Being in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office is the problem with your testimony.
Huh?
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what the problem you're talking about at all.
Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Allebahstain office's fireplace?
You mean how it connects the office with the room next door? What about it?
Well, the Allebahst isn't the only country with a secret connecting fireplaces.
What?
The fireplace in Mr. Cochin's office holds the exact same secret.
What?
What?
The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. They escaped the route. Sorry. They escaped would be better than the escape. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now, do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent Shih.
Yes!
Meaning that it's impossible for her... Wow. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu.
Oh,
Yeah, we found evidence the thief escaped through there. You're right, Luke.
She is the Yatagarasu, probably.
She didn't see the Yatagarasu because she is the Yatagarasu!
That's my guess.
What is the meaning of this, Miles?
Well, would you care to explain, Agent Shih, how you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu, or shall I? You claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kay saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Cochin's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Shih. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest.
Wow.
Does that sound right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hey, how dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one?
Exactly.
Shih?
What? That laugh. That laugh! It's her! Francis.
I remember this irritating laugh.
I'm getting chills down my spine.
Hey, it can't be, but it has to be.
Shih, what's wrong with you? Your laugh sounds really nerdy.
I'm sorry. It's so funny, but I couldn't help but laugh.
Funny, you say?
Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutors of this country really are so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is.
What?
Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route.
The tone of your voice you're talking with me now has certainly changed.
That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, then we can have a real battle of wits.
For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know.
I know, and that is why I won't hold back anything either as I answer your question.
My question?
Here's your proof that the revolving fireplace in Babel was used recently. I don't know. I mean, it's...
There was somebody, I think somebody talked about it in their testimony about the revolving fireplace. Spilled.
While burning fires in the fireplace left acid.
They said they put the ink there, but then when we looked, there was no ink there. It was completely gone. There was no residue of ink. I think we should present that.
Okay, present.
You're doing really well, Luke.
Chemist a little tight for... Alright. Here we go. Present fireplace. Note. Take that!
I'm sorry, but is this really your honest answer to my question?
Yes. According to Ambassador Powell's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cochin.
Oh?
The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so that they should have been there. However, when we went in to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there.
Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up.
Objection! Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Powell said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cochin's office is my proof. And just what is so funny?
Ash as proof? Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course. Why wouldn't I?
In that case, let's hear your counter-argument.
My counter-argument? This really is just like being in court.
Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now.
I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse.
Hmm?
Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all.
Here we go again. Shina's rebuttal.
In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace now, can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office.
Ooh.
And there you have it, my counter-argument.
Ah! That's very impressive, actually. She has seen through to the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest to us, Kay. But
Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. This chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end.
Mr. Edgeworth. You're right. I will see this through to the end.
Does anybody else realize that Kay is the same height as... Smiles Edgeworth.
Kay is like 17 years old and he's the same height as her.
A 30-year-old man is the same size as a 17-year-old teenager. That is very embarrassing. No wonder Phoenix makes him feel so small.
So, you get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth, alright?
Guys and gals, YouTube has started to purge likes for inactivity. You're at 95 likes, you used to be at 100. So let's get those likes back up if we can, thank you. With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it?
Shih, please, show me you're someone I can trust.
Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Shih. Shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are.
The rebuttal! Okay. Let's go to Sheena's rebuttal.
She said not one suspicious thing was in the room, except for there were many suspicious things in that room. The ink was making the fire glow green. There was a weird revolving fireplace. There was a dead guy, but literally nothing was taken off of him. There was a safe, but nobody took the stuff in the safe. And not even, besides that, there was counterfeit bills that were burned. There was like 5 suspicious things there.
Oh, you think the counterfeit bills were burned in the fireplace?
I thought that one guy said somebody tried to burn the...
He said they burnt pamphlets.
But I thought we found in our investigation that the counterfeit bills were printed with the Allebahst ink, which could have produced the green fire or something.
Well, of course it did, but yeah.
Oh, but they didn't say that. They didn't admit that. We investigated that. Okay, I understand.
In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace was used.
Hold it!
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough.
But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough, even for you, pal.
It looks like you don't quite understand. But your looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
Oh! Hey, talk about rude. You should watch yourself, pal.
Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
You can't tell how smart someone is by how they look. I don't believe that. But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used.
But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagrasu used the fireplace now.
Hold it!
Hold it!
So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace?
That's right. Well, do you have any?
Ah!
Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace?
Wait, now she's smaller than him by a little bit. This is weird.
I shrunk. I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection.
Hold it!
Kay, if you could please not steal my line.
Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
Ah, you may seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless.
We shall see.
So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence.
Objection.
Hold it!
It's possible that the Yatagarasu left the fingerprints inside the fireplace.
Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polano and Mr. Cochin.
Curses! I should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. But there must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
Look at her! She's wearing gloves!
Yep.
Oh, I take it you have no further objections. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation.
Hold it!
Hold it!
So, Integral has finished examining the entire Balby's embassy.
Yes, the investigators who weren't allowed into Allebahst were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu.
Objection!
And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochin's, correct? I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room. For that, I am sorry.
You don't need to apologize, Shih. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. So allow me to apologize for you. I'm sorry.
You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all.
No, he apologizes for his subordinate and everything. What a great boss!
Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates?
No, nothing of the sort, sir. Well, actually, no, you don't. You're someone I really respect, even if you are a bit too strict sometimes.
And that is the only problem on your end.
Wow, way to be super hard on him in a response, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's called tough love.
Hmm.
Am I really too strict on everyone? I'll have to reevaluate myself come next salary session.
Wow.
Anyway, Shih, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cochin's office, right?
Oh, that's right. We finished our investigation. And we found not one single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin.
Hold it!
Hold it!
So you really didn't find anything?
Yes, as I said, not one thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation. But we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Babbly's knife handle yet.
Ha! You see? My subordinate worked hard to investigate everything. So there was nothing else to find, alright? Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people! Lang Zi says all men are brothers and friends become family. Huh. You see, my people are my family and their families are my family too.
That's a rather large family you have there, Agent Lang.
Yes, but we all know there is always one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your own family.
So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace passageway?
No, I haven't found any yet.
Then what are we gonna do, Mr.
There is no need to worry, because there is a loophole in Miss Interpol Agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Balby's investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that with Agent Shih in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence.
Oh, wow.
That piece of evidence that we found. There is one thing I do know, and that is someone tried to hide it from us.
Yeah, didn't somebody burn the counterfeit bills?
I believe so. Where do you want to try?
The one where she said there's nothing suspicious. I think there's tons there's tons of suspicious stuff.
Oh, blah, 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 blah.
We should do the thing where it says not suspicious, then we should look through our court thingy and present something.
Okay.
I think she said it at the end, I don't know. We should present something here, I think.
Okay.
So what do we have in the court record?
Oopsies!
Wait, don't present. May I look through it and see what we have? Okay, we got Mr. Cochin's thing. We got the pamphlet. We have the body. We have the knife, which is kind of suspicious, but we have the handle, which has removed the knife, which is also suspicious. We found smuggling of the Allebahst ink. We found... So here, bills circulating in Zhengfa, made by Cochin, they were all burned up in Babal.
Okay, so you want to do the counterfeit bill. Okay. You looking for the counterfeit bills?
Oh, they even have another... Oh, these are people. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, there's even more things here.
There's a lot of evidence here.
A good length of wire that was found wound in the Babal's grandfather clock? That's suspicious. There's so many suspicious things.
Try the counterfeit money.
Okay.
Objection!
The music is stopped. That means I'm on the right track. You didn't find anything suspicious at all. I highly doubt that.
But I didn't. You can even ask the other men.
I don't need to, for I found what you should have a while ago.
Excuse me?
In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burnt counterfeit bills there.
What in the...
Aye!
Oh.
I am pointing and yelling.
That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right?
So what if it was?
Ah, that's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills?
No.
You see, so there was nothing in that office, nothing that you can call evidence anyway.
Objection!
Speaking of things that you Interpol agents have missed, I did find this one more.
Your pompous attitude is unnecessary. All I require is the evidence.
Very well. I'll show her the hidden piece of evidence that her and her fellow Interpol agents missed. I need to get some brisk.
Okay.
So we'll ponder this. Guys and gals, keep the likes up. We're almost at the hour mark, and we're still at 98 likes. With about 57 people watching, you're almost there.
There's a place that the agents missed. Okay. Alright, what did we miss? We've got photo of Yatagarasu, fountain spouts, Miss Yews Perfume, a guitar pick, files and babble, Polano's testimony, a wire, revolving fireplace, passion flowers, Damask's note, counterfeit bills, Allebahst primidux statue, samurai spear that's bent, Allebahst ink, prosecutor's badge, embassy guide, let's see. Well, was there any area of the room that we missed? I don't even know how to look at the map. Like, how would we look at a map of the area? I don't know. I think we missed a... I don't know if we got every area of the... I don't know if we got every area. I don't even know how to... I don't even know where... Luke, do you have any idea how to look at the map of, like, an area of where we might have missed looking?
No. I don't think you can do a map in this one. That's older Ace Attorney games.
Oh. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what we may have missed. I don't really know, and I don't know. I guess I would present. I'll show her the hidden piece of evidence that her fellow Interpol agents missed.
Last brisk ice. Hello.
Well,
do you wish me to try something? Ah? Okay.
Maybe I don't know if this I don't know if this has a map or something. I don't know. I guess we'll just I guess we can just go show this. I really don't know.
Probably.
Take that!
This is what you and your agents missed.
Whoops.
Whoops. Hey now, Mr. Prosecutor, are you trying to smear a good name of an Interpol agent? Of course not.
Then are you trying to slander Agent Lang and I? Or are you just presenting unrelated evidence in hopes of fooling around?
What? It's not unrelated. Watch what you say, because you're this close to getting into a fight with Interpol. Did you even think things through? If you can't even do that, then get out of my face. Ah! What did I do? Something like that? I admit it's not likely that would have overlooked it, began regular investigation. And it's only because thanks to Kay's gadget that I was able to move forward at all. Which means that I should show them what we found in that most unusual place.
I think we're supposed to use Kay's gadget.
How do we use Little Thief? I'll show her the hidden piece of evidence that her and her fellow Interpol agents missed. I don't know what evidence to present. Sorry, guys. Hang on, I need brisk. Okay, there we go.
Where's the little...
I don't think you can use Little Thief like that.
I think we need to show... They only inspected the one room. They didn't inspect the other room, I don't think.
Right.
The one that she was in.
So how do we prove that she was in the other room?
Well, she even said she was in the other room. I don't know. I guess I could try it. Maybe I should... Should I save first?
Again? How many... I mean, you can do it again and then we'll save if you mess up.
Well, here we are on the map right here.
Take that!
This is what your agents missed. Hey now, prosecutor, are you trying to smear us? No, this is wrong. Of course not, probably.
Are you trying to slander Agent Lang and I?
What? It's not related.
Not the best.
What would you say? Did you even think things through? Get out of my face. I think I know what to present. The only thing I can think of that they didn't find, because we don't have a map, we don't have Little Thief that we can use. The only piece of evidence that we found that no one else saw was inside the grandfather clock, which would be this wire.
Take that.
I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
A length of wire. So what about it? I'll tell you what, we found this in the Balby's embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office.
You found that at the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder?
Oh, good job, Luke.
So I think you'll all agree now that I cannot trust you when I say that Interpol has thoroughly checked every room, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu.
You still suspect me, I see. All right, then. I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete.
The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Shih, and it is not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the 3rd floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor. Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shih was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there's only one location that no one has yet to inspect.
So she was just pretending to inspect that room.
Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to investigate this location. Be the next room.
Yeah, the above room, or the one next to it. Because they only inspected the room with the body in it, not the other room.
Okay.
Take that.
The location Agent Shih is, of course, the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection.
Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there.
I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe! Oh, yes, sir, I'm on it. I'll be back after I check out the room next to the office. Whee! Well, this is awkward.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth!
Yes?
Do you really think that Miss Shih is the Yatagarasu?
Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is, yes.
Then I'm not gonna let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu! But you can prove that she's the Yatagarasu. It's the question is, can you? Miles Edgeworth?
Sorry, I have a drinking problem. If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to.
And just what are you hoping he'll find?
Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier.
An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science.
It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu.
And what did you find by doing that?
First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Balby's ink.
Who cares what his coat was covered in, Miles? It's not worth that much anyway.
Ah, but it really is worth so little. I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir. Oh, so what are these things that you found? Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing.
Yes, the possibility does exist. Indeed. Agent Shih, Were these pieces of evidence not in the room that you examined?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Oh.
Thank you for bringing them to me. Saves me a trip. May I have them back now.
Hold it!
These items that Detective brought are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
They were my personal belongings. You have no right to touch them without my permission.
Objection!
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say let them look at your stuff, Sheena.
Lang!
Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If we're really innocent, if you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right?
I guess so. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now, let us begin. So, which of Agent Shana's belongings are you going to examine, sir? Which are you going to examine? The coat, the shoes?
I think the most important thing, like what Kay said, was she saw the coat.
You need another little one? Okay. Yeah, I saw the charred remains of that trash. Alright, here we go. Examine the coat. Let us examine the coat, shall we? Yes, sir. Oh, that's a nice coat. It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly.
With ink!
Agent Shina. The Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if the stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
No, you have it all wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire.
And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat?
Oh, I didn't realize the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire.
I don't think so! You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
She's attempting it. Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace...
Which I can.
But... how?
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe. Sir, what did I do? This coat, this is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we moved... And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat. No, I didn't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise. All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance on the coat hem is.
Oh, and you think you can do that?
Of course I can. This is a dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat.
The
Ink.
Take that!
Bobbly's ink?
Yes. This is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Powell, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning.
You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again.
My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on his coat turns out to be Bulby's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet.
But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Bubbly's ink on the coat hem.
Oh, but I do, and I intend to show you that it is ink in a few seconds.
Oh, how?
How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I prove that the dark substance on the coat is Allebahst's ink. Burn the coat?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it only shows... Yeah, that's the only way you can do it is burn it, because if she's innocent, we'll have to buy her another coat later, because literally, like, this is the only way you can show it, because remember, the fire burns green with that certain ink. Yep, I think we're gonna have to burn it. We're gonna have to set her coat on fire.
Oh my gosh.
I will do this with pleasure. I think this will be fun. She's been so mean. She deserves it.
She's been so mean. Time to burn her coat. Okay, here we go. We can find out whether that is Allebahst's ink or not by lighting it on fire. That's how you're gonna prove that it's the ink? Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark-stained area for me, I appreciate it. Because it will show you... Because I will show you here and now what the dark substance is. Shana, sorry to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to cut out a bit of your coat.
Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore. Anyway.
Now then, if someone would loan me a lighter or something...
Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs.
Then, if I could please have one, Kay, we can get this experiment underway.
The flame! Oh. Ah!
It's the same color as the flames Witticrystal oil produces, which means... Allebahst's ink is a product of the Witticrystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. Whoops. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing.
Miss Gina! You're the fake Yatagarasu! The one who killed my father!
It's about time you come clean, Agent Shana, or should I say... Callista you. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you're not serious, are you? Do I look like I'm joking to you? It's my face, isn't it? It's very solemn, without any, shines of emotion.
Oh! Callisto, you. I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude! You haven't changed a bit in 7 years! Ugh!
Hey, you're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it.
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto you woman? But you can't prove it! If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me!
Objection!
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true... Ow! Link! Link just scratched Amber in the head. Bad Linky! However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world. You okay? Linky, do not do that.
Don't hurt me. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you, Miles Edgeworth?
I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years.
Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth.
I will, Kay, but we have finally come to an end. We'll prove her to be Callista you with this and clip this Yatagarasu's wings for good.
Something that the Yatagarasu has touched or used to have.
Wait,
Or something
there.
that Callisto you used to have.
the Yatagarasu's key. I would say that.
Or, I mean...
Take that!
Don't waste your time with that garbage. Now go throw it out of the trash can in the hallway.
I thought you said you weren't joking type, and yet here you are, telling jokes. But I'm not laughing. Ha!
Mr. Edgeworth, that piece of evidence I saved for all these years, remember? I think you can prove that Miss Sheena is really Callisto Yew if you use that.
Yes, you're right. It's time we brought this case from 7 years ago to a close. We'll prove her to be Callisto Yew with this and clip this Yatagarasu's wings for good.
Something that
Oh!
Kay had, and that Callisto Yew has had.
The perfume.
Maybe Callisto Yew's fingerprints are still on it from 7 years ago, and then we can compare those to this lady's fingerprints and see if she's the same person. Maybe, I don't know. Or
Okay.
we can just
All right.
smell her perfume, see if she's still wearing it. I don't know.
Link, why are you licking the wall?
Like, what are you doing?
Such a
He's
weird
a
cat.
silly cat.
You scratched your head, are you okay?
Take that!
This perfume, this will prove you to be Callisto Yew.
It will?
Yes, Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle. This belonged to Miss Yew just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that just a few of her fingerprints are on here as well.
This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Burn Faraday, that if it's stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here. Every last one!
We can clear everything up if we're to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Shana, will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? What? It's a lot of laughing.
It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Mr. Edgeworth.
Callisto Yew.
So, you've shown your true face at last.
This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago.
Shana, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man.
So you were a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who was been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time.
Oh, very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought.
Callisto Yew, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu!
That's right. Callisto Yew. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief, Yatagarasu.
Callisto Yew, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now, come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And you had not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was.
Kay, don't.
You! I will never forgive you for what you did to my father!
You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty.
Uh-oh. Kay! Oh, you let Kay go right now, pal!
You despicable! Let go of me, you filthy! You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I am the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief! Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be 1 step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be!
Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is... neither person? It's 3 people? $125.50. I'm gonna try saying neither person. Link! I'm gonna go with neither person.
I have no idea.
The real identity of the Sorry. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Brian Faraday nor Callista Yu. But by the same token, they are also the real Yatagarasu.
How very perceptive of you. No way!
The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth! I refuse to believe this!
The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer who would have the opportunity to learn the layout of a client's cooperations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind, ever. Detective Bad! It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu? You! I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you.
Oh! Why, Mr. Bad, long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Oh! Why, indeed. It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How could you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time I won't miss.
Stop! You! Kay! Bad shot her. It's over, Shina.
Your leg.
Agent Lang! You idiot! What were you thinking jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she's a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she's my subordinate.
And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you.
You really are an idiot. You know that?
That's fine with me. You should know by now this is just who I am. Hey, sis.
Yes?
I want you to conduct a full body search. Shana might have another weapon on her.
All right. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please.
Oh, yes, sir. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-dum. Hey, I found something. Oh, it looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle.
This is a great find, Detective.
It is, sir.
Let's try pairing up the blade with this handle.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was the murder weapon.
Hey, they fit together nicely, sir.
This blade must be taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched.
I'm gonna go return this Balby's knife now.
Alright. I trust that you'll make sure that it's returned to the Ambassador Pal. Balby's knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callista Yew. For the only time the handles could have been switched is after Mr. Cochin's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the You killed Mr. Cochin with the knife in the study. Switched the blades and then took the original blade of the Balby's knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that sum it about... does that about sum it up?
Objection!
Objection. You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth. But there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
What do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was all so I could capture Kay Faraday. What? What? When I saw that you using the device at Gatewater Land, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochin's murder on me!
This lady doesn't seem like a noble thief, Yatagarasu, at all. She's evil. I thought the Yatagarasu was supposed to help people.
Three legs. Police, prosecutor, defense attorney.
Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were going to take little thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key.
Then the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday? That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it?
In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It was an especially pleasant assignment. It wasn't, actually.
Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu?
Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day.
What? Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cochin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings.
Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're gonna tell me everything you did tonight, you understand, Shina?
I guess I should tell you then that I was the one who set the Babylese embassy on fire.
And why did you do that?
I suppose it was to destroy all the evidence of the counterfeit bills.
That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do? But then why start two fires?
Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation, after all. I've had my fun, now it's your turn to enjoy the ride.
Wait! Yeah, I mean, Miss Sheena!
Yes?
When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you.
Ha! You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away.
No, I want to keep them.
Ha! Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will.
Mr. Prosecutor?
Yes, Agent Lang?
Mark my words, I'm not done here and I'll be back. It's got nothing to do with duty or anything because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be.
His anger appears to have neglected the sensation of the pain in his injured leg.
You probably should get that looked at.
I'm fine, I'm just gonna limp away.
He's limping away. He should drag his leg behind him.
It's finally over. How is it over? We got her, but hey, little buddy, there he goes. Look at that. He likes that little spot. Look at how much hair he left behind.
He put fur all over you.
You're making it hard for me to breathe, you little furball. Okay. It's finally over, Kay.
I feel like I peered into her heart a little, you know? It's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all those commands, the one who thought my father was a problem to be removed.
That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring.
Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jammin' Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There is a bit of a soil stuck on the ends of these sticks. Hair sticks jotted down in his organizer.
I guess it's time already, huh?
So it's midnight, the dawn of another day.
Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You've really done a lot for everyone all these years.
Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day.
Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything.
But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after.
The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you.
Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also part of the Yatagarasu?
As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you.
Uncle Bad!
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's just one big joke, right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, come on, sir. Just yanking my chain, isn't she right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Detective Bad, wait! No, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, here. I should give these back to you.
These are... the pages from the KG-8 innocent... Ah! The pages from the KG-8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office.
Hey, wait, what? Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night.
So the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it?
What? That means what? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG-8 incident, it was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant's guilt. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in that case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate?
We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. But doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we found the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday, he died for it.
But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG-8 incident?
After Faraday's death, I looked into her past. And that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG-8 incident, CCU, she never had a sister.
What? Then that means...
Shana wasn't the only fake name she used. Callista Yu was also another pseudonym. Yeah.
It was fake.
That's right. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
Huh, she said it herself. It was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck into this page of the case file. Please use it wisely.
Trump card?
That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago. It's the mark of the
It's the mark of the Yatagarasu, but why?
This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Cochin had on him at the time of the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU.
But why in the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu?
The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze.
So you mean the cards were written in Balby's ink?
The fact that the card that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police.
So that's why those white cards were used.
The great thief that used the mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind. Trump card jotted down in the organizer.
Mmm.
One more thing, Detective Gumshoe. Lollipops are good. I'm trusting this to you.
New lollipop?
What's this? A videotape, sir? Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG-8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. It's an important definitive piece of evidence.
But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it?
The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. And he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally after the other day's kidnapping case.
Videotape jotted down in the court organizer. This is a lot of stuff. Okay.
A lot of explanation at the end.
Oh my god.
I find it kind of weird that they used a smuggling ring card. Just strange. Well, that one girl, CCU, really changed her appearance drastically.
Yep. Alright. This video. Don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is the same video as the one Mr. Postman was trying to conceal from me.
Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence.
Then that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader of Mr. Postman. Ah, jeez. But rather a detective's card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman.
The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them.
The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is...
Whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who's above the law.
Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad, there is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them.
You still insist that even now. You really are something else, Edgeworth. I leave the rest in your capable hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs, please. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu. Pops! Don't ever lose your detective spirit, kid. Why is this happening? This isn't justice. Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now let's go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because he would be arrested for withholding all that evidence. He stole evidence for years.
Yeah, he messed with evidence and stuff.
Is this really the end of a legend? What? The case isn't over yet? Holy cow. What in the world? Alright, let's keep going.
Well, Kay shouldn't try to be the Yatagarasu at this point because all of them got in trouble for doing that.
March 15th, 12:07 a.m., Theatrum Neutralis lobby. So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was, and yet there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved.
Like how the weapons crossed country lines. For example, the two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in.
Smuggling them in, eh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on this, just like this aspect. Give me a sec. We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged.
Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us.
This piece of evidence from the KG-8 incident hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us.
Sure thing, sir.
10-year-old
Wow.
video. Uh, 10-year-old tape. Let's see what we got. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious.
Dum-de-dum-de-dum-dum-dum-de-dum-dum-dum.
This man, it's Manny Cochin.
And he's holding a knife in his hand. He looks like the footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building.
An apartment building? How do you figure that?
Unlike you, Miles Edgeworth, I actually read the summary file on the KG-8 incident. I read all the files I'm given. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment, didn't you know?
So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building. Interesting.
That's right. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed.
However, no one could find it.
Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano.
I can see how things would have been a definitive piece and why someone would want to hide it.
But it's a piece of evidence from 10-year-old case, sir. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now.
Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this very video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader.
Where? Prepare to fast forward.
Wait! What was that?
Huh?
That bit you played just now. Show it to me again. This car, there is something we cannot overlook.
Why's that, sir?
Look here, Detective Gumshoe. There's a man in the car. See him right there.
Yeah.
Take that!
Don't you find this section to be particularly of interest?
I don't see anything at all. Oh, are you talking about that thing, sir? I've heard that you can capture ghosts on film. Is that what it is, sir? So, where is it, the picture, sir?
That's quite enough. How could I have mistaken this? I clicked on the dude's face! Look here, Detective Gumshoe.
Maybe it's because it's an official car from a certain country, maybe?
Oh, the flag of the car.
I don't know, I'm just guessing.
This is the national flag of the Principality of Copia. And because it was the national flag on it, we know this has to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was the government car doing here?
Miss Van Karma and Mr. Edgeworth, you were here all of this time.
Ambassador Alba!
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy never would have happened. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. Though you sound very ominous. This had nothing to do with how careful you were.
You idiot! You couldn't chase after a simple thief! I'm afraid now then let us get down for the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that?
Excuse me?
I heard you've apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel.
Yeah, but we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues.
Wait out, we leave the rest to the Allebahstain and Ablaze police.
Ambassador, we are so close! Just a little more and...
Miss Van Kamma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind.
What?
And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right?
That's true. However...
As he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Allebahstain soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Shifu, this way!
Yo! How am I not limping anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Agent Lang, you're back on the scene after rather quickly.
I laid back and took a break, and I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you retired? Because I have to solve this case no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. I don't take this the wrong way either. I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... Oh! Under these circumstances, I'm afraid you have to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe your own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable.
At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close.
Ha! Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do. Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer behind tonight's murder is. You...
Oh, no!
The...
Killer?
Do you really mean that, Agent Lang? Heh, wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all Shih.
What?
Lang Zi says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexceptionally simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was Damask 2's killer? I'll tell you who it was.
Huh?
It was you, Franziska Van Karma.
What?
Huh?
No, what in the world?
I was the killer?
Well, she's the only one who's never been accused, so why not?
Unbelievable! Can you believe this, Miles?
Oh man, here we go again.
Now I'm accused? Hey, wait, but that's impossible!
Yeah. Although, that whip is actually quite, Ah!
Psh, hold your tongue at that ludicrous remark you were about to make!
Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing my sister of murder?
Oh, yeah, I am.
He doesn't appear to be joking.
Hey, sis, remember that just before the Ambassador Alba went to give his speech? He called you into his office, right?
Yes, he did, but what does that have to do with anything?
I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Allebahst and Babel, did you not?
Objection? And where is your evidence that I am the killer?
Huh.
I was getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission?
With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice now, do I?
Good. Then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Ha! As if I would have any reason to flee! But just as we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Whoosh. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation.
She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. This happens to me quite a lot.
I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that, Miss Van Karma.
Ah!
Hold it!
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, and so that I may clean up my superior's mess.
I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Allebahst yet.
If you let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. No, I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Van Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition. See who can save her first, okay?
Okay, well, I'll take you up on that, Kay. Yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over, you goof.
Sounds like this is gonna get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance.
Ha! I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now, let's go.
What does he mean, your last chance?
I don't know, but how's he walking normally after being shot? He was
God.
limping just a little while ago.
Kind of feels like he's working for that ambassador guy. The leader of that country. It feels like Agent Lang is dirty.
Maybe.
Because they have to accuse somebody because it's obviously Agent Lang and the Emperor. Because, I mean, everyone knows the Emperor is evil. I think we have a long time on this case.
I think that the Emperor, I think that his son was the guy behind the thing, and he's trying to cover for him. Because there was a young man inside the car. I think that, that's my guess, is there's someone connected to his family that's the ringleader of the smuggling ring who's the real killer, and he's trying to protect him.
I think the Emperor Alba is dirty.
I mean, the Emperor's always evil.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Okay, now, let's go over the facts one more time. Manny Cochin's body was found over in the secretary's office in Babel. The weapon that took his life was one of the knives from over here. And then the body of Damask too. Well, he was found here in Allebahstain Ambassador's office, dead. Though our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this statue. And that is exactly Babel's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it. Sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Maybe you did, Agent Lang.
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you're saying?
He never was over in Babel.
Well, then it was Emperor Alba who did it.
Cute.
It wasn't Francisca. She was around people the whole time.
Ow! Okay. You will never let me pick him up. Just bit me.
I'm sorry. Don't know what to say, Luke.
I just wanted to hold you. Weirdo, you're just like all the other past cats and you never let me pick them up. Bully. Okay.
Mean Link.
Yeah.
grumpy ghost.
Oh, of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Yatagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and the other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Objection! Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Ah!
Don't worry, I plan to show you Don't worry, I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. And with that kind of free reign, you could easily take in the weapons across country line. Hey now!
He caught the whip.
Wow.
Look, sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Shina certainly is tied to the smuggling ring.
He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine?
Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already!
Francisca, you need to calm down. Because you only know the facts of the Allebahstain side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it.
What?
But don't worry, dear sister, I'm taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence.
That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well.
Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask II.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth?
You got the vein, you little monster.
This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damask II is related to the smuggling ring,
Right, I know.
then it will mean the end of our investigation.
Okay. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. It's time for us to tango again.
Yes, let's, and this time I'll lead.
Oh my gosh!
Alright. Hey guys and gals, we need to push a YouTube short because, like I said, this stream is not doing well. We're 2 hours and 7 minutes in and only at 600 views. That's 250 views less than most Ace Attorney streams at this time. But don't worry, if we don't do Ace Attorney tomorrow, we will do Marvel vs. Capcom. Because we have another MVC game to do. I believe it's X-Men vs. Street Fighter would be the next one. Which Amber likes playing that game. Border crossing weapons. I just need to pick a short.
Well, I mean, I don't even think we got enough views on the early mornings.
No, but we're barely at 1,000. Linky, without biting me again, what short should we push?
Do the wolf link one.
Terror behind the scenes. Ah, I got it. I got one we're gonna push. Let's go over here. He just missed my vein, look.
Sorry. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. He cut you right on your wrist.
Why won't you let me pick you up? Your eyes are so sweet, but you're mean. What kind of people hurt you when you were a kitten? Why would somebody hurt this sweet little face?
It's like they didn't like cats.
Okay. Guys, if you could click this short for us, that would be fantastic. We're going to continue the case. We need to get about like 25 to 30 people to click that, and then we're going to push another short. Man, it hurts. Okay.
Border crossing weapons. One of Allebahst's knives was used in Babel to murder Mr. Cochin. and the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II and Babel's primidux statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who transferred the two countries... Sorry. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes
Zelda!
Uh-oh.
Zelda!
Seriously, Zelda? Did she make it to the tile or no? Good girl. Sorry guys, Zelda got sick, but the good news is she made it to the tile, which means we don't have to clean up a carpet. That's her third time this week. I know, Ambi. Doesn't she eat it without her pill pockets or no? Once in a blue moon?
The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you, little Miss Whip.
So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca will remain a suspect.
She should have some pill pockets in here.
What's that, babe?
I ordered pill pockets.
You ordered pill pockets? Thank you. Well, Zelda has always had a stomach problem ever since... We don't know what happened to her. Like, the vet was going to put her down 2 years ago. She had a huge stomach problem where Zelda had a seizure and had to be taken to the emergency room. And then Amber and I did everything we could to save little Zelda. But afterwards, she's developed a stomach problem and she's been on medicine for like 2.5 years now. But
They gave us everything in that package but the pill pockets.
they didn't give you the... They gave you... There's no pill pockets in there?
No, I ordered some air freshener, some carpet refresh, and some bags, and then I ordered pill pockets, and they gave me everything but pill pockets. I'll have to check and see if the order is going to be tomorrow.
I'm looking at the orders right now.
They gave me everything but the pill
It
pockets.
says the pill pockets will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Extra large moving bags?
Yeah, that's to put all our extra clothes in so I can start cleaning up the office and the downstairs and everything. All of our extra clothes that we don't need, that we haven't worn in over a year, I can put it in those bags folded.
Take the where? The storage locker? Or put them in our closet or something?
Wherever.
Okay.
Like storage locker here, whatever. It's
Here
just,
would work.
it's easy to put them in there, and then we can further
Nope, I
further
understand.
figure it out later.
Yeah, the pill pockets will be here tomorrow. Okay.
Can
So
even use it to store for the winter or something.
sorry guys, life happens. Back to end scene. Okay. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca will remain a suspect, correct?
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor, so why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across another country's lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss.
Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lang Zi never said anything to that effect.
You, prosecutor, who do you think you are speaking about Lang Zi's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys were asking more things about Zelda. Yeah, the vet was gonna put Zelda down. That's correct, but we didn't let them. We didn't let them put her down. We had her overnight. We had her overnight at the emergency vet, and we had to take out like a vet credit card, and we had to just basically wait all night for her. And
Yeah, the vet wasn't going to treat her. They said that she had a seizure. They didn't know what was wrong with her stomach. It looked like she was dying. So
we
the
had
vet...
to call a company that gives you like a vet credit card. That way you can give them a monthly payment if you can't pay for services.
Yep.
So they weren't going to pay because they thought it would be too expensive to, they thought, it's over just a small amount. They thought, well, it's not worth it, just get another cat. And since we, had Zelda for...
Since she was a kitten.
Since she was a little kitten, we didn't want her to die. And so we got a vet credit card out for her. And so we're still paying that off little by little. And...
yeah, the vet said...
We waited all night for her, all overnight. We waited at that hospital. And then they had her on a lot of different medicine and stuff. And then they miraculously, I think we asked people to pray for her. And miraculously, she made it through the night. And we brought her home. And ever since then, she's been all right. But she has a stomach... She doesn't have a problem with her teeth. She has a problem with her stomach.
Yeah, she throws up quite a bit. That's why she's on.
She has a stomach disease where she can't digest things correctly.
Yeah. So we've been taking care of her for years, and we still take care of her, but she makes a lot of messes. But she still looks healthy. Her fur is very shiny. She's just, she's on medicine. But yeah, the vet said 50-50 shot that the cat would live, and they said, we don't think it's worth it to treat her, and we said, treat her. And we took out the vet credit card and we did everything we could for Zelda. And the vet did not like us, but, then they were happy when the cat recovered, like, the next morning, so.
Well, one lady thought she was not going to make it, but she did make it.
Yeah.
So.
Never got apology from that vet either.
Yeah.
She was very rude to us.
I think if they would have... I think they just had to keep her little heartbeat stable, and they gave her some food she could digest, and then she was okay. She just had to make it through that one night, and then she was all right after that.
Alrighty, here we go. Border crossing.
One of Allebahst's knives were used in the battle to murder Mr. Cochin.
That is true. I concur that this knife crossed over country lines.
Good, but that's not the only thing that it did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon, the knife, though, the knife was only one. And the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babel's primidux statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security.
Excuse me.
Hold it!
Impenetrable? I should hardly think so.
Not so fast!
You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? So who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all the barbed wire there was.
The only way into the embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis. So the only way for the knife and the primidux statue to traverse the two countries is through those security camera-equipped, well-guarded doors. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crime was you.
Alright, we're gonna save, because we've lost a lot of stuff. Record. Zelda, don't lick the vacuum. Okay, there we go.
Be a good girl, Zelda.
Be a good girl, Zelda. Okay.
Hold it!
Was Francisca really the only person to have traveled between the two countries?
According to the guards at both doors, she's the only one to go back and forth. The sis there was in Allebahst when the Yatagarasu showed up. And then just before you guys found Mr. Cochin's body, she entered Babel. I think we can assume that when she brought the knife into Babel.
Objection!
Then how do you explain the primidux statue?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled across the country lines.
The only thing to cross the border are the primidux statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those are the only two items, Agent Lang.
One of Allebahst's knives were used in Babel.
Okay, there we go. What do you think, Amber? I think that Mr. Cochin killed the, I think Mr. Cochin killed Damask too. That's what I think.
Mr. Cochin.
I think the murder victim of Babel killed the murder victim in Allebahst, and then he was murdered. That's what I think.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but that's my guess. Present.
What he said, Miles said that he said there was the knife and one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was the two objects were I don't even know what two objects he's talking about. The knife and something else. The knife and one other thing. It's confusing.
I don't know. I'm kind of stumped.
He said that there's only two things that could have been going through the lines of the country. He said the Babel primidux statue, which he's saying right there, the murder weapon, and the Babel primidux statue.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then after that, I thought he said something like those were the only two objects. But there was another object that could cross the lines. It'd be the other statue, the Allebahst statue, could have crossed the lines.
Okay, so
exactly
you
the
want
same.
me to present the other statue?
I think you should do it. Well, no, on the other one where he says it's not the only ones. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Like I said before, it's only blah 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 blah.
And how exactly did she bring it over?
I haven't figured that out yet.
That's a rather weak statement, considering how sure you are.
Maybe, but there's only one thing I do know for sure. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the top two securities thing.
Yeah, so maybe we can try presenting the other one on that, the other statue.
On this statement?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Present.
The
Oh, I thought it was going to jam up there. So this one.
No, because he already mentioned
This one.
it. There we go, yeah, that's other countries one.
Okay.
Objection!
Alright, here we go. Other statue. Agent Lang. I'm not on autoplay, am I? No. Agent Lang, those two items are not only the two to cross the border tonight.
Oh?
Damask 2 was killed in Babel's primidux statue, yes? I mean... Damask 2 was killed by the Allebahst statue, correct? But if that's the case, then tell me, where did the Allebahstain statue go?
To Babel.
Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched,
Then they both crossed the border.
then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at the same time. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies.
Oh, I guess so, but you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that Sis here is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Allebahst and Babel is her.
Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang?
Ha ha ha! What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what that guard said along with the security camera footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
But suppose there was some other way than through the theater doors.
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed, if I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
It looks like you've got some clever idea in mind.
I do, and I can show it to you through a simple piece of evidence.
Fine.
Entity?
Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route.
This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries.
So, like a ghost? What other entity could possibly be? Some kind of, like, entity that doesn't exist? A mythological thing?
Guitar pick? The jamming ninja? I don't know. I have no idea.
What about that photo of that ghost running along the side of the wall?
Really?
I don't know. I mean, he said an entity. It looks
Okay.
like a ghost to me.
Okay.
Maybe the ghost did it.
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo.
Ah, that supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly.
No, of course not, you idiot. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that Shih somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
And I won't allow you to take back what you've just said either. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor.
Ah! But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka! Very well, geese. I mean, ducks. Jeez. There's a pack of ducks flying outside our house. I heard them. What were we doing again? All right. Very well. You will have your explanation.
You have to explain who's in the photo, I guess.
Very well. You will have your explanation.
It's a ghost.
It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face behind this
Ah, jeez.
You okay, Agent Lang?
Yeah, it's just his mannerisms, like his wolf-like voice, hurts a little. All right,
let's hear it. The face behind within the photos, the blurry shadow showed.
The face.
In the hidden photos, blurry.
I have no idea.
Maybe it would be. Maybe that was like an inanimate object with a cape over it. With like a cape over it.
You're saying it's a statue?
Well, we said that was the last thing that went between things was that statue. Yeah, maybe that they put like a little cape over that statue to make it look like a person, and then like put it on like a rope, and then
that would explain the wire that they used.
Maybe have it go on a wire and like wheeled it over to the other side, and then it looked like a ghost.
Okay.
I don't know.
So which statue then?
Yeah, that one, the one that Agent Lang didn't know about, Allebahst.
Okay.
I think.
Sure, why not?
I mean, we'll try it. I mean, because he already knew about the other one being smuggled. This is the one he didn't know about being smuggled. I'm just trying to keep up with the story.
I'm typing it in case I'm wrong. Allebahst.
Allebahst ghost statue. Allebahst Yadagarasu ghost.
Okay, whatever. Here we go.
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the primidux statue replica.
You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am. The Yadagarasu, rather Callista Yu, dressed as Agent Shih, was inside Babel. She dressed as a replica statue. She dressed up the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
What?
Mr. Prosecutor, you left out a very crucial bit in your explanation.
I know I did. I'm getting to that.
She launched it through the air. Ha! How exactly did she do that?
He is literally bringing his fangs out, eh? But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the
Magic.
air like that?
Magic.
As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth.
It floated with magic.
Which reminds me, I didn't say this earlier.
Hey sis, remember that just before the ambassador went to give his speech, he called you into his office.
So just before the murder, Francisco was called here right in this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear the testimony from Miss Van Karma.
Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy?
Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believed her to be the killer.
Yeah, I guess I did say something to that fact.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is.
Ah! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there's absolutely no proof that I'm the killer at all! Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too! Ah!
I don't, dear sister. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear what it was... Which is why I would like to hear about it from you.
Ah!
Francisca, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case.
Huh. All right, Miles. So, what would you like me to talk about?
I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room.
Ha! Alright, let's see.
Are you going after my gum? Stop
What are you doing, Zelda?
Oops, I'm sorry. Ah, I paid for that! Okay, why don't you get your claws out of my leg?
Oh my gosh.
Ah! Oh, it popped when I took it out.
Are you okay?
Oh, she dug it in there pretty good.
Are you gonna need to go to the hospital?
No, it's just a pierced wound. But still, she had her claw in my leg, and then when I pulled her out, it went pop.
Zelda should start a business where she does ear piercings. She just stabs a claw through somebody's ear.
Do we even have any band-aids left? I've been using so many.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to put...
Ouch. Gonna have to get coupons for band-aids. I don't even have any Neosporin right now. I don't want to take care of this right now. I just want to go on. We have one band-aid left. That's awesome.
How did you use all these in just like a week and a half?
It wasn't a week and a half. This is my very old band-aid box.
Oh.
This was when Link moved in. We bought this in September of last year. It had 60 bandages.
Oh my god. 60 bandages a month. Poor Luke.
60 bandages for a year is not bad. Ouch.
Oh.
I have one small box left, but I don't think there's anything in here.
Oh, it's a year. I thought you bought it at the beginning of this month.
Oops. This has... This sounds like it has some bandages left. But yeah, no, I didn't get scratched that much. Although, never mind. My personal opinion is I really wish that cats could be allowed to be declawed, because then humans would get hurt a lot less.
Well, I mean, we were gonna declaw them, but then...
This state doesn't allow it.
Then they told us you have to wait until it's 6 months, and then when it's 6 months, they said you had to have done it before 6 months.
No, the state of Pennsylvania, like when we got Zelda, they outlawed it. You have to go to New Jersey to do it. And even then,
Go
it's...
across the board.
You have to go across, like, state lines, and even then... Like, the vets always look at you like you're kind of sus, like, afterwards. Like, oh, I noticed she's declawed. So, I mean, yeah.
You
Anyway.
can just blame it on the previous owner.
Yeah, we got her like that. No.
Yeah, it's like, it says that you've had her this whole time. It's like, well, we lost her for a day. Whoever took her that day got her declawed.
She was catnapped for a day, and they decided to do that. No.
Alright, let's try this.
My leg hurts just like Agent Lang.
Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time... Finger point. I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl. No!
As you wish.
As you wish, wolf boy.
Miles has so many, like, wrinkles under his eyes.
That's because he never sleeps.
Relatable.
He always reads those law books every night. He works hard at his job.
Movements in Allebahst. 234. Movements in Allebahst. It's like that? Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go for a little bit more.
Why, Zelda?
We're about 200 views under where we usually are for Ace Attorney. Which is a shame, but like I said, we're gonna do Marvel vs. Capcom tomorrow if we don't do another Ace Attorney until next week. That'll give people a full week to get, you know, the views necessary to continue, hopefully. And hopefully it won't be like a Zenless Zone situation. Movements in Allebahst.
As I said earlier, Miles, I was assigned to guard duty in the Allebahstain embassy, of course. After I saw the Steel Samurai off his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit, and I checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to Ambassador Alba to his office. I was called by him.
Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course, Miles Edgeworth.
I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. Hello, Zelda. Movements in Allebahst.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Allebahstain embassy.
Hold on. I thought your duty was to fact-find anything you could about the smuggling ring.
Yes, that was my job. Upon hearing that the Yatagrasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassy instead. That incident 7 years ago, have you forgotten what happened here back then, Miles?
Yeah. Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forget myself.
It looks like you remember the case after all.
Of course I do.
I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police and security detail. I did all that, and after that... After I saw the Steel Samurai off his way toward the ambassador's office...
Hold it!
So you were at the theater as well?
Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching that stage show?
Yes, well, so Francisca was there.
After the show was over and I saw the Steel Samurai off, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and I checked up on the security situation.
Hold it!
Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for even the speech?
For security's sake, Miles, of course. What other reason could I have had? No one knew just how the Yatagrasu had planned on getting in, right?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
And in the end, the Yatagrasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden.
Indeed.
Even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Who would have thought that she would use a shadow? Psh.
Ah! Calm down, Francisca!
It makes me so mad!
She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself.
Anyway, there was no one in that Rose Garden, and we were aware that the speech was set to start soon after thereafter.
What?
It was after thereafter, Miles, of course!
That is not the King's English.
Why don't you worry about the King's English? I'll worry about the facts, Miles.
Why don't you worry about my squirt bottle of justice? Aha!
How dare you!
Put that whip down and I will put my squirt gun down. Slowly.
After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office. Oh, you already pressed me on this.
Wait, I did? No, I did not.
Oh, no, you didn't.
You're jumping the gun. After that time, Damastu's body was yet to be found in this room. Is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss this rather large presence. I mean his, has a large presence.
No, a criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested.
I'm...
How do we know you're not lying?
How do I know you're not lying, you oaf? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at his office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box at the windowsill watering his plants.
I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office.
All right then. Add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill. Oh!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something.
What is it, Miles?
How did you know that the Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers, and he had obtained them himself, and is growing them with the utmost care, you know, Miles.
Yes, I do enjoy flowers. They're so very pretty, the plants in this room. Some would say they are unnatural. They are like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully, too. All 4 of them are in bloom.
Ah, Miss Van Karma, what did you just say now?
I said, Miles, that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about the statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well, Miles Edgeworth. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box.
Hold it!
I'd like to confirm with you one more time. There were 4 passion flowers in bloom in that box, correct?
Yes, Miles. I should hardly think that I've miscounted such eye-catching flowers.
There must be a deeper meaning to this statement, and it appears that I must take a gamble on its meaning for me to make any progress. The primidux statues were already switched by the time the murder occurred. In light of the fact what Francisca saw in this room before the crime is of incredible importance.
Okay.
As I said earlier. Okay.
Well, he said there's something wrong with that statement with the passion flowers.
I'm lost.
He said it's of utmost importance.
Well, we don't even have any flowers in our court record.
We have a picture of flowers.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do have a picture of passion flowers.
We do not.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
We do too. It's right there.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you, we do. We have a picture right there.
No, we
it's
don't.
in the court record. Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes,
Nope.
we do.
Nope, that's impossible. I will remember if we took a picture of a flower, I say. We do not have it.
Well, I'm telling you, it's right there in the court record. Why don't you take a look yourself?
I'm telling you you're daft, and we don't have any such picture.
I'm telling you, you're being really stubborn, and we do have a picture right there
I'm
in the
not
court
being
record.
stubborn. We're having an argument. This is an argument. And I'm winning, because we have no pictures of a flower. I'm just saying it because there is none. I would remember if we took a picture. We have a picture of a knife. Yes, quite. Yes, what? We have a picture of a statue. We have 2. Yes, quite lovely. We have a picture of a wire. Yes. There's no pictures of flowers.
I'm telling you, you're being stubborn.
Preposterous.
You just have to take a look at the court record.
I refuse, because it does not exist. If it exists, then it was put there by a phantom.
All right. Well, we have to go to that statement that we were talking about how many flowers were there.
There's no flowers anywhere.
4 flowers. Okay, present.
I present nothing.
The
I present
picture.
air. No, it does not exist. See? Look, there's a badge, a thing, a dead body, a knife, money, a note, a statue, another knife. We have a thing and what?
2 flowers.
That's preposterous. That wasn't there before. There was never a need for flowers ever before, and now they're randomly here.
So 2 of the flowers have been ripped out of the box.
Oh, poppycock, whatever.
Objection!
I don't believe you. The evidence mysteriously appeared. Francisca. For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth! What are you doing discrediting Miss Von Carmel like this?
Yeah, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. No!
All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony at all. As for this, I'm still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles Edgeworth?
At the very least, it's a contradiction in this enigmatic
Enigmatic statement, Miles?
It's very hard to say to my British accent, yes. At the very least, it's a contradiction to this enigmatic case. One that I find to dismiss is as irrelevant. Ah, then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we're to examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with utmost care.
How many were there then?
So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
We should ask him how many there were.
I understand. I'm walking over to the flowers. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. There are missing flowers.
Weird. Look at the flowers and what they look like. They don't even look like regular... Oh, wait, no. They're growing along 2 of those red poles.
Mm-hmm. This watering can has a rather robust design.
Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Miss...
What?
I was just pointing at the cat.
Oh.
Okay. Plus, if you keep wasting time when talking like that, Miss Von Carmen's gonna get arrested!
Oh dear. I'd rather examine something else. What's this patch of soil? Looks as though it had something removed from it. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why did you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here, waiting for an explanation, you know. Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? It looks like 2 things were pulled out from the flower box. I know what those 2 things are, actually. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they're actually species of vine. They appear to grow well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how it looks like, there are only 2 here. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut up this man who is a foolishly foolish fool of a fool!
Sorry, I left for 1 second.
I suppose I'll need to use some evidence to shut him up. Show evidence. Ha! I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do now. You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any bite! Zelda! Sorry. That was a little ad-lib there because Zelda stepped on me with her claws again. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth of the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence.
Something that looks like the things that were removed from the flower bed.
Exactly. It's these thingies.
There's exactly 2 of them.
Shana, who was supposedly in Babel the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. That looks exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are, in actuality, support sticks for the passion flowers. And so what? If this really is all that important to the case, of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Zelda doesn't like voice acting. She doesn't like hearing the different voices, so she leaves. Link doesn't mind, he stays, but Zelda doesn't like it. She's like, that's not how Mom and Dad usually sound. I don't like this. I'm leaving. Yeah! Think about it logically, Agent Lang. Those sticks were originally in Allebahst. Allebahst. Yes.
Yeah.
But somehow they wound up in Shina's hands, who was in Babel the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue. Ugh. Huh. Well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babel. Those are mine. Sorry, guys. How did these support sticks find their way to Babel and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is, but the shape of the support sticks is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when they all come into focus. Oh,
See, they have...
Crossbow.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I think they were shot using the crossbow. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So someone could have been murdered with the hairpins, or maybe they really are arrows.
Maybe. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is... the crossbow.
Eureka!
1 second.
Oh wow, Lou, great job.
Elementary. The crossbow. Zelda, I need these. You can't have them. Okay? Alright, bad kitty. The crossbow? Wait, you're not really suggesting. Oh, I am. These hair sticks, or rather, plant support sticks. They make for perfect arrows. Yeah! I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the 2 offices. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. And we'll have to see if Agent Lang is correct that statues cannot fly with arrows next time.
Aww.
Yep. It's time for dinner and to prep for tonight's second stream. So, yeah. If you guys would like another exciting episode of Ace Attorney tomorrow on Sunday, 1,000 views is required. This stream got 785 views. That's the best we could do after almost 3 hours. 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Thank you guys for any gifted memberships and super chats, everyone.
There was none on this stream.
Alright, well, thank you guys for watching and for liking and sharing. And if we get 1,000 views, then it's possible we'll get another episode tomorrow.
Yep, if not, at this time tomorrow will be a Marvel vs. Capcom episode if Ace Attorney is not available. And then Monday will be probably a marathon of Epic Mickey.
Oh, gosh! It's gonna be difficult doing this voice again, though. Because it's been 3 years! That's the last time I did it. And my voice naturally gets deeper, so It's gonna be weird.
Doesn't even sound like Mickey anymore. Anyway, yeah, it was almost 3 years ago that we did Epic Mickey. So, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We hope you had fun. And we'll see you with Funko Fusion once that hits 40 likes. I think Funko Fusion is currently at 28 likes. It needs 40 to start. And we'll be doing The Mummy tonight, as well as possibly Jaws. So we just need to figure out how to do the Jaws world, because I don't really know. But there we go. Alright, guys and gals, thanks so much for watching. And hopefully Ace Attorney will be back tomorrow, because we can't do it this week because we have a lot of new games to cover. G.I. Joe, The Legend of Zelda, and Epic Mickey. So, alright guys.
Awesome.
God bless and Epic Gaming. 790 views is how many we were able to get. Wow, that jumped up. Okay, so 790, you guys just have to get 210 by tomorrow morning. Good luck, and see you over on Funko Fusion.